right, we got number 2, review the HR, PLR, 0532. Okay, are those other logistics center agreement? Okay, so the back agreement. I talked to Tom today. He apologized for not missing out, but I've got all the information on this one. They didn't receive their packets. So, let me give you a brief description on this, and I give it an update. It's another road project here we're looking to do here in Sauk Village. All right, this will be the logistics center. Can I give everyone a little bit of background here? In approximately 2003, we received funds through what they call the Jesse Jackson Jr. grant. I'm trying to remember. Those funds were approximately $472,000. IDOT ended up taking those funds from the village of Sauk Village and just recently sent us back in March of 2014. The village approved an IDOT local agency agreement that would get reimbursement for engineering expenditures previous for the TIF fund for Logistic Center Drive. There's a balance of $305,193, so approximately $305,000. And according to IDOT, we can use these funds only for Logistics Center Drive. So what we're coming before you tonight is to take the remainder of these funds and to finish a top coat of Winpack Drive. So that those funds be used. We've got estimated costs, what it's going to be. And I don't know if we're having a meeting. So if everyone out in the lobby knows we're having a meeting here. All right, so we're looking at approximately $350,000. That's an estimated cost. That the engineering cost. That's redoing Winpack Way. And we have $305,000, which the remainder of the amount would come out of TIF, since it's sitting in a TIF. Again, this is usually, kind of give you a little bit of example, usually what happens is the developer of the property would go ahead and do all this work, and then they would turn around and request for the TIF funds to be sent back to them. And they would get approximately about 90%. Well, what we have is, we already have $305,000 for what was known as the Jesse Jackson Jr. grant. We can use that money only in the logistics center. We can use that money to do this road and still be way under what we would have to pay the developer for finishing this road. So that's why this is a recommendation that is before you tonight, to use these funds to go ahead inside the TIF area where they have to be used to be able to get this road resurfaced. Are there any questions? Yes.
So the $305,000, that's out of the Jesse Jackson fund, correct?
Yeah, we call it the Jesse Jackson because we got another Jesse Jackson Jr.
Now, the $45,000 or whatever, because you said $350,000.
I think that's what they're estimating. Again, we'll know for sure when the quotes come in. But the engineering company, I think, was estimating about $350,000, give or take.
And that will come from the TIF?
The remainder will come from the TIF. Trustee Myers.
All right, the road is from Cottage Road to Mark Collins Drive, correct?
No, it does not go all the way to Cottage Grove. It does not. Winpack Way stops, there's a detention pond between Cottage Grove and Winpack Way. And there's a circular little inlet. If you go down, you'll see a great big circle, and then you turn right, it takes you where the trucks and stuff go to Winpack.
I thought for sure I read on a proposal that it was from Cottage to Mark Collins.
Our first proposal was to go through there, but there was some environmentals that we were unable to do that because of those detention ponds and stuff being there.
Originally, my understanding was that would also be a second means of egress from that park
Because I know there's been 3 times in the last 4 years that we have totally, fire department has totally blocked all employees, trucks, cars, and everybody else in that park. Long as up to 8 hours. They had no way out. And that's what I thought the main purpose of this is give them another access out. When the power line fell across the road, the high tension line went down. We had everybody sealed in that park. Only way that people can get out if they had 4-wheel drive, they cut across the field. But I'm confused now. So there's just going to be an addition to.
I will follow up and get you the information. The last I talked to them, this is the top coat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now we have, what do they call it? The first initial, the liner, can't remember what the first coating of asphalt is called.
Right.
The second coating is with the top layer. So this is to put on the top layer along Wimpac Way.
Now, bring up my second question. That 350,000 or 350,000, that's what they propose is going to cost us a little over. Now that's going to take the weight. I'm no truck driver or expert or anything, but those trucks coming in and out on that road is pretty heavy, and that's what it's going to take to secure that road.
That's correct. So
Wow.
they'll have all the engineering studies and stuff, and they'll figure everything out. But again, their rough estimated guess is about $350,000. And then again, it will be presented to the board. And again, we've had a lot of talk with IDOT to find out exactly what we can use those funds for.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, I think the original plan was to go all the way to Cottage Grove. And there's just not, I don't think there's enough money. I'll double check. But you know, we've had many discussions on this. There was never really enough money to
Originally, something having to do with a stoplight. They couldn't have 2 stoplights within a certain area. And then the other one was the ditch over there. That's one of the, I think that's part of the, not Legal Lansing, but the part of one of the ditches that runs through Stager and everything. They said they didn't have the money to build an adequate bridge over that to get the trucks in and out over the trucks. That's the reason I asked the question, is the road's going to be heavy enough to handle these big trucks.
The roads were developed for large trucks because this is an industrial site. So this is putting the top layer of the asphalt, which has never been put on.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Trustee Richardson?
We'll be talking about Wimpac Way. Are we talking the road just south of Wimpac? Is that what we're talking? As you come down Mark Collins Drive, you get to the first road to the left. Are we talking about that road right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's the one that goes around to, I guess you can call it the extension of the new Wimpac, right?
You're not talking about going all the way to the extension. You're talking about doing the road in front of Wimpac going all the way down to the end.
Oh,
So it'd be from Mark Collins all the way down.
all the way to the retention pond, basically.
Up to the circular in there.
Yeah, because if you were, and I know what you're talking about, having another road built just north of Wimpac, just past the railroad tracks that feeds right out to Cottage Road. That would be more than 300,000, much more.
I think it was over $1 million.
Yeah, that would be much. But my question though, when you go north of where we're talking about, are we gonna have to float a bond, or will that money come out once they build that and resurface that and put that in there for I call it Wimpac 2, like another word, Wimpac 2, will we have to float a bond for that?
I'm going to say right now, I don't think we'll have to as of right now because the top section of the asphalt for the whole entire section has not been done. This would be the first road that will have a top section. We're also working with DP Partners because DP Partners was the developer for all those roads.
Right.
It's their responsibility to put that top layer on. So Tom has been working with them to find out what we can do for them to finish the roads There was a lot of discussion about they wanted to wait putting the top layer on into the whole entire site was built. And if you remember, there's phases we went to, phases 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the other phases have not come to fruition, okay? So now we're going back to DP Partners and saying we need to have those top layers put on. There were some other things that happened. If you notice that usually your top layer comes up where your curves and stuff are, it usually comes down and usually there's a gap between your curves. One thing we did make DP Partners do, way before my time when they were building this, is we had them build up those edges up to the curb so we wouldn't have any damage to our snow plows in the wintertime when we're plowing snow. So what you're looking at is when they're putting this top layer on there, they'll have to go through and have to grind or they'll have to remove asphalt along those curves so that the new road, when it comes on, it will come up and be even with the curves. So there's a little bit of work that has to be done for these roads, but we are in discussions with DP Partners to find out, what's the next steps to get these roads finished.
Is there a deadline? I mean, do we have to spend this right now? Can we wait until after DP Partners, WinPack 2 is finished, so we can find out how much it would be to go all the way around? And maybe we can come up with something that you just got to state that the TIF can take care of. Because if we finish this, then you're going to come down on the slope when you go north on that street, just for WinPack 2. And I'm just wondering, first of all, is there a deadline? Do we have to spend this right now or we will lose it? Or can we wait until it'll be finished by the end of this year, I'm pretty sure.
No, we're looking to spend this money because we had the IDOT agreement going back to 2014. And we've been looking at ways to spend this money. We've been making sure we're communicating with IDOT so that money's just not sitting there. They know that we're trying to figure out how we can spend this money since the state was nice enough to return it to us, okay? So, you talked about WinPack and new expansion. All of the new construction work and everything will not go on WinPack Way. They're taking it all the way around across, down back by.
Right. That's what I'm saying, going down north. Go north.
So by us being able to do the first road, first of all, we can go off, we can show the developers of the property that, here's what we want the rest of it to look like. And find out what we got to do before we get the rest of the industrial park completed.
Just because if, like we did before, and quite naturally the TIF is paying for it, when we did the concrete and the asphalt with, because DB Partners did it, we had to pay it back, we had to float a bond. This is going to be a similar situation where we're going to have to maybe float a bond to finish this, and I was just wondering if we could, incorporate all that into one and then see how much this will go in conjunction with trying to finish the rest of it, so.
Yeah, there's no floating the bond to finish this.
No, not this, I'm talking about finishing
Yeah,
the second.
I can't see a floating bond, to be honest with you. This is the developer's responsibility to go ahead and get rid of the finish. Again, his funds will come from TIF funds. Once the work gets done, he applies for TIF reimbursement. Yes.
Is this road accessible or is this fenced off or anything? I mean, to get a visual, I just want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you turn, where WinPack is,
Mhm.
okay, you turn down Mark Collins Drive off of Sauk Trail, it's your very first road, you make a left. That's where the work would start, right there at Mark Collins Drive. Going down, that's called WinPack Way. Take WinPack all the way down. You'll see there's a little cul-de-sac. And then if you look to your right, you'll see the brand new parking lots and stuff that WinPack has already put in. If you make a right, you can go past the WinPack in front of the building, you'll come up to their trucks. You go past their trucks, you can see all the new construction. They've got a 350,000 square foot building, walls and stuff are already up. And construction's already going. Any other questions on this one? Trustee Davis.
I just need a clarification. I'm seeing Baxter Woodman identified as a village engineer, and I thought that Robinson was a village engineer, so I'm confused.
It's very, for a new trustee, it's understandable. Baxter and Woodman is our TIF engineers, and Robinson Engineering is our engineers for all over the village. So Baxter and Woodman covers all the TIFs. Now we have TIF areas 2, 3, and 4.
So it should not say village engineer, it should say TIF in there, correct?
Though they're still village engineers, they just cover the TIFs.
Well, I think it should be distinguished between the two. That's why I'm confused, because you have two different firms.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right, hearing none. So we'll have this on the agenda for approval on next Tuesday night. Item number 3, review municipal code update. We got, village clerk has been working on this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, if you could look at the packet I just gave you, start with the back page first. The back page is when I first presented it to you, you had questions about what the $18 per page was comprised of. So I contacted Unicode. So the first quote included 378 pages at $18 per page, the graphics at $100, and the updated media, which is basically the DVD, which was $75, and they were going to ship 5 copies of the supplements to the code book, which we would have had to remove the old pages from the code book and insert the supplement. And that was at a cost of $7,004. So then I went back to them and I said that the board would like to know what was the $18 comprised of. And they said the $18 per page on page 2. Now, if you go to the second page, the middle page, it says the $18 per page covers the entire codification process, from your editor to your proofreader, your indexer, your printing, and everyone in between. So in order to update the code book with the ordinances that we provided, that's what the $18 covers. Also note that the cost estimate is cushioned. Once the supplement is completed, we will only invoice the village for the actual number of pages generated by the inclusions of the amendments. So I asked them what it would cost to have one complete code book in a binder, totally updated. That would be an additional cost of $382.50. So if you look at the first page, it says it's $7,004. That only includes copies of the supplemental pages to be inserted in the code book. And the second price you're going to get is the $7,004 plus the $382.50 would mean it would cost $7,386.50 to get 5 sets of supplement pages and 1 complete code book and a DVD with the code. And as always, whenever we update our code, it gets updated online. So then I went back to them one more time, and I said, can we have a couple more options? What's the best deal we can get for our money, and what can I bring to the board? So if you look at the very front page, you see option number 1 and option number 2. Option number 1 includes the same 378 pages at $18 per page, the 10 graphics at $100. The full PDF code, you could download the PDF code. We can print as many copies as we want off of this PDF copy. So we bypass them having to do the printing for us. We've got our own binders, we've got our own tabs, we have them from the books that we've already made. But they could give us no copy, but just the PDF of the code for $6,904, okay, plus tax. So that means that we would make all our own copies. Then I asked them, well, can you give me a couple of copies? Okay, what will it cost to get at least 2? I figured the police department, the clerk's office, should have at least an updated code book. So with that, they gave me an estimate of $7,316. So that includes 2 completed copies, and we will make our own copies for however many code books we want to produce. So these are the estimates that you have in front of you, and I'm really not expecting you to read all through this tonight. This is not something we have to do in a hurry. I would like to bring this back to the board at the next committee meeting after you've had a chance to thoroughly look at it, and maybe everybody can weigh in on how you want to proceed. If you have any questions, those that are attending the IML this week, James Bonneville is actually our Unicode representative, and he loves to talk to Sauk Village when we go down there. So if you have any questions, you can bring this with you, and he can express not only how this is beneficial and what's better, but he can also tell you what else Unicode has to offer. But everything comes with a cost. So at this time, I'd just like to give you the information. I'm open to questions. James Bonneville is open to questions, and bring it back to us.
Question.
Trustee Jones.
If we do print this out on our own, who will be in charge of that task? You'll be putting it together and tagging and everything.
I did it last time with the help of summer help, but we don't have summer help, so it'd be me.
Trustee Jones.
What is the source for either option of paying for it?
General fund.
I'm a little concerned we didn't, a few weeks ago, we couldn't come up with $4,000, actually $189,000 for Republic to keep it from cutting off the garbage pickup. We couldn't come up with that money. But now we're going to come up with $7,000. So how are we doing both? Either we have the money or we don't have the money.
Well, I understand your concern, trustee Tate, but I've been asking for this to be included in the budget for 2 years now. You continue to let your code go behind. It's detrimental to the people that have to work with your codes. It's detrimental to the residents who want to find out what the most current code is for cutting their grass, for parking their car, whatever the case might be. I've been going to the board and I've been asking this to be included in the budget. Matter of fact, before your last budget, I asked that it be included. The board is the one that sets the budget. I'm just trying to get this process completed. Your code book should actually be updated quarterly, if not annually. And as far as getting a brand new recodified book, we haven't had one since 2013. I don't know how they used to do it in the past, but I think we need to do that every couple of years. And the fact that we can get a PDF copy and make as many copies as we want, whoever wants a copy, the trustees, the police department, fire department, code department, village clerk, the ordinance review committee, is something you have to do eventually. If you look here, we've got ordinances from 13016 to 16016. We're talking 3 years here. This is a board decision. We can continue to do what we're doing and working out of an outdated code book, or we can, at some point, we have to find a code. So where you get the money from, that's board decision. I'm just bringing it to the board.
No, it's still my question. I understand all of the background that you just talked about. I understand all of that. I'm just saying, this board asked, where is the money going to come from? There was a proposal to deal with Republic, and the board asked, a trustee asked, where are we going to get the $400,000 from? Okay, and I think it kind of floated in the air. So I'm still saying, if we didn't have $400,000 to avoid entering this 14-year contract with Republic, how do we come up suddenly with $7,000? That's my question. Either the money is there or it's not there.
I think it's a great question, and when we come back to the board, we'll discuss on where the funds are available, if we're going to be able to have funds. If we don't have funds available, it won't go through. But at least the village clerk has done all the legwork to bring the cost back to the board, so the board knows exactly what it's going to cost. So, trustee Williams.
I know that when we talked about this 2 weeks ago, the same question came up. I know we talked about, was it something that could come out of publications through the budgets of the various departments? And I know that trustee is concerned that if it was going to come out of different departments, that the department had to be aware, so that they know that this portion of this line item was going to be removed, and that they would then have to work around that within their budgets. I think it's something that definitely should be looked into, because as the clerk said, we haven't done this. And I mean, we're not mandated to do this by any means like we were with the last meeting. But it's something that would be good. You've got your police officers, you've got your code enforcers out there writing codes. They may not know what's changed, what's updated. So it's something that we should do. And I agree, $400,000 we couldn't find, but $7,000 and $400,000 are a little bit different. So if we can look and see where it could be from, I think it's something we can look into. So is that something that can be done? The clerk asked for it to be on the agenda in 2 weeks. Is that something that, can we look at it by then?
We'll put it on the agenda in 2 weeks. We'll talk to Mohan, we'll look at, have PW look into what we can do to, where the funds are coming from. Trustee Myers.
I've already spoke to Mohan, he said he was sitting down. I did go through a couple of the department publication, and if we fully take it out of publication, and excuse my expression, we're gonna rate these departments. We're gonna have to go expand out a little bit more to see where we can, but Mr. Mohan said he'd be glad to sit down with me again and we'll try to go through. I'd like JW to ask in the department head meeting, if we could ask departments what line item they could possibly afford to give anything up. Again, I don't want to totally kill that line item. And if we do it on publication, we're going to wipe out a couple of departments.
I think we come back with multiple options. We'll take a look at it, and then in the end, the board will make a decision. If we decide the board decides we don't have funds, we won't make the updates this year. We'll look at it on the agenda for next year, for the budget for next year. like I said, the village clerk has done all the legwork. I appreciate her going out and doing all this and bringing the costs and to us. So, but in the end, it'll be up to the board. Any other questions? All right. Now we'll go to item number 4, fence insulation, retention pond. All right. So, all right, so we'll table this into the next committee meeting, and that way the trustees can get copies of all the bids and be able to review all the information. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Move to item number 5, public comment. All questions and comments directed to the mayor. The speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment on topics of their choice. Each speaker will be allowed 1 opportunity to speak. If you have anything, please come forward. Please state your name for the record.
Good evening, Tammy Jones. 2 things. The first, I hear you guys talking about the code book, which is great, but you should know that your judges are not upholding what your police officers are writing tickets for anyway, so be it. But the other thing is, Girl Scouts has begun. I have troop leaders for kindergarten, 1st grade, and 6th through 12th grade. I am still looking for 2nd and 3rd grade brownies, 4th and 5th grade juniors. So if you know anyone interested in taking leads on those troops, it would be great if you could give them my information. Thanks.
And is it okay if we have the village clerk put that on regular?
Yeah.
Okay. Do that again, please.
Terry, if you could specifically say what you're looking for, maybe that's what you're saying. Could you send me an update last time specifically what grade you're trying to do?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Frank, I have just 2 questions. One is about the petty cash fund, it's $2,000. Right? Each month is $2,000. Petty cash. That you all be asking. You know what's the last meeting?
Okay.
And I was actually talking about it was $2,000 that was on the budget to be approved for petty cash.
Okay.
And I don't see where anybody shows where if it was used or whether it was not used.
Okay.
Do you all show that? In other words, say for example, you start off with $4,000 for petty cash, and you don't have to use quite $4,000 for petty cash. Do you add another $4,000 or you just add up to what would equal $4,000? And my other question is, when you pay the water, people are covered. If you don't get the full amount, why not pay what you have? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you owe those people to pick up your garbage. And when garbage piles up, you have maggots all over the place. You have things that you don't want to happen. So I think the most important thing is to pay the bills that detrimental bills. And the garbage, that's a very important bill to pay.
All right, thank you very much. You know, I'll have to take a look. I don't have the accounts payable from the last meeting, so we'll take a look at the petty cash. So I can't answer your question tonight, but we'll look into it. In fact, I'll probably, that'd be a finance committee question, so I'll pass that over to Trustee Williams. Since I'm trying to get out of this role of answering everything, pass out to the trustees. All right, with that said, I see no one else. So we'll go to miscellaneous business. We got comments from the board. Start with Trustee Myers. We'll start with you guys. Mic right in front of you.
Okay, a couple updates. I've been out for the 60th anniversary. I was asked to check in some items. I've checked into Carnival, should have a list of different Carnival companies and what type of percentage they do it. Now, everybody has to realize you don't pay Carnival.
Hey, Trustee, if you could just pull back just a little bit. Because I turned those mics up for the last meeting, so you should be able to talk to me. How's that? Try that.
Give me the microphone. All right. Well, the Carnival, you don't pay anything up front. A Carnival will give you a percentage, and I'm just using an example now. Carnival comes in and they will may set up a deal where set up a deal that you'll get 35% of the profit up to $14,000 or whatever, and then you get 50% when you reach 30,000, and it goes on up. You don't pay money up front. The worst part about trying to get a carnival in is the date. And I need to meet with the committee and try to settle off a solid date where I can give these people, and they can come back and tell us if they're or not. And we have to make a positivity decision on how many days. So, the other thing, bear tent, I was asked to look into a bear tent. First of all, bear tent, there's a couple things you have to do. You have to go out and purchase a grand shop insurance. You have to get a liquor license from your local municipality. You have to get a liquor license from the county. All that costs pretty good penny. But once you get that, then you have to follow the state's guideline on fencing the area off where you can't have minors inside the beer tent, and you have to have people, they suggest people at the entrance of it to make sure you check ID. I know the last one we had in this town years and years ago, the state actually sent out a representative, and they caught a couple minors in our beer tent, and we paid a big fine on it. The village didn't, the organization that was running the carnival at the time. Then the other last thing I was asked to look into other than that is the parade. And the parade is different. If you want just a small municipality parade where residents in it, businesses in it, no problem. But if you went to a parade that will last you an hour to hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, which we have had, the last one that I put on for the fire department, and we had paid units in it. We had the Warrior Drum and Bugle Corps, we had the Medina Drum Corps, we had the Medina Cars, we had the Jesse Jackson Tumblers, Jesse White, thank you, the Tumblers. These all cost money. And I've got a couple feeders out there running, and I was love some support from anybody that knows, like the Jesse White Tumblers, any representative on it, to get a hold of them and get me a contact. But yes, that's going to cost. But I can guarantee you that you're afraid when you have people lying solid all the way down the walkway. I still have a lot of them. The state sending me all kinds of stuff, requirements, and I do have four positive carnivals sending information to me, and 5 maybe. So sometime in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'll have a whole bunch of information coming into the committee. The other things, I'm going to probably meet with the clerk, and I will look at the schedule for the village. I probably will be changing my schedule for the ordinance subcommittee to meet based on a few things that happened with my wife and everything. So with that, the fire department, fire prevention week is coming up. We had a dynamite display set up for the entire village. Unfortunately, the house that burned, they sold the house that burned today. So it was going to be open for the general public to walk through, see what type of damage a actual small candle fire can do to a house. And but once again, they sold it. So we're working with the housing commission to try to find another house that's safe enough that we're going to put through. I checked with the insurance carrier, and as long as we can provide escort through, then it's not a dangerous situation to put people through. And I felt that before we do anything, we'll have the safety director walk through it and take any suggestions from him. However, right now, we're going to still be going to the schools, Frostbury, Wagner, and Rickover will be doing a special presentation to them. Those young people, we have to talk to them and it's pretty much you get 35 minutes of lecture to them. Other than that, that's all set for October. We're going to kick it off during October Park Convention Week. And once again, we're all down the campaign. This year, I will be teaching 2 classes down there. And I'll be gone for about 3 days at no cost to the village of Sauk. I pay my own expenses down there, and then I belong to the state board, Illinois Firefighter Association. They pick up my room and board. So, and that's all I have. So.
What's the specific date for fire prevention?
13th to 17th. It's a whole week.
13th and 17th?
I'll have more on that exactly with an open house and everything. Next week.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few things. First of all, I want to remind everyone, as usual, we have our meeting the second Monday of every month at 7 o'clock at the fire station. So we will be having our neighborhood watch meeting at 7 o'clock. We have a 6:30 committee meeting, and then we have our regular neighborhood watch meeting beginning at 7. I want to invite anybody that would like to attend to make sure that you do stop by at that time. Also, for the next 3 months, Neighborhood Watch is going to be basically focusing on our grading. We had talked about, we have a map of the entire village. It is our goal to get a block club captain for every block in the village. We currently have a little over 40 block club captains throughout the village. It's approximately 86 blocks in Sauk Village. So we're trying to meet that goal by the end of the year. We do a little bit every day, a little bit every week. We're walking and knocking on doors. And I just want to say it's very enlightening talking with the residents. I think the chief is back there. I saw him, Chief Kowalski, been sending you a lot of phone calls. Was in on one block, found out that 2 neighbors actually are fighting each other. One got hit in the eye. You the neighborhood watch, I'm like, but I'm not the police. Call Chief Kowalski. And then got another phone call where a man, cat, got killed by a raccoon. He wanted to tell me all about that. I was like, okay, you need to call J.W. Fairman at the Village Hall. They will find out what that raccoon did, killing your cat. I am not the roadkill person, so it's just engaging, talking with the residents. Just so much going on in Sauk Village. It's just a wonderful thing. So that's what Neighborhood Watch is doing. We're going to continue with our light up the neighborhood. We tell residents to turn on their front and back lights. We're from Peterson to Carroll to Brookwood, was over there after midnight last night, riding around just talking to people. You would be surprised to know the people that have begun to turn their front and back porch lights on. Also, I continue with, of course, with our no bullying, with schools starting back, no bullying, cyberbullying, one-on-one bullying, also no texting while driving. And I just want to say to all of those that's on Facebook that go live, please do not go live while you're driving in traffic. It is unreal, the people that go live and just talking while they're driving their car. I'm like, how you going live while you're driving? We talking about no texting, and you going live doing a whole series while you're driving your car. I'm like, wow. So we have been just educating people on being safe in their cars, on their blocks, and in their neighborhoods. Neighborhood Watch is a great committee. We're having a lot of fun. So if you know someone on your block that you think is doing what a block club captain would do. Some people can't come to the meetings, they're at work, they're babysitting grandchildren, but they watch their block where they live. Lastly, I want to say I went on one block over by Orion, and there was a young man I talked to, and he told me, I promise you that if anybody comes on this block that's not supposed to be on here, on this block, we have a phone tree, and we all call each other, and all the men come outside, and I promise you, they get off this block. I say, wow, I want you all to remind me to talk about that. I can't say everything he told me that they do, but the men on that block, they stand up. So I just wanted to applaud them over there. And so, like I said, Neighborhood Watch, we're just going through the community, we're talking with people. I want to commend school board member Tammy Jones on her program with Girl Scouts. I did think it was a great program, and I jumped on board, and I'm gonna be working with Girl Scouts ahead of high school girls. She worked with Neighborhood Watch with the junior neighborhood, and that's what it's all about, committees and commissions working together. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Jones.
Well, I got a question for Neighborhood Watch.
Okay,
Do you have any stats or measures keeping track of percentage lights on or phone calls that was made from Neighborhood Watch block club captains or anything to the nature?
We do, just in my internet phone.
Okay. I would like to thank everyone that came out to the Corner Dog Roast. It was a great day. The weather cooperated. No complaints, none whatsoever. We sold out all the corn. Hot dogs lingered around a little bit. There was about 280 ears of corn sold. It was about maybe 175 of the hot dogs. So hot dog lost once again. But they were pretty good though anyway. But and there will be no Uno this Friday. It'll be picked back up next Friday. And just thank everyone for the participation. Rosie, Abby, Eric, Cecil, the Parks and Recs Committee, and any of the volunteers that came out. The mayor, for your participation with the hot dogs and the 3-on-3, and look forward to next year, bigger, better, and a few things over the intergovernmental partnership. They played a key role. The bake sale did awesome. I didn't need it, but still got cupcakes. But bigger, better next year, and that concludes my report.
thank you, Trustee.
Mr. Mayor. One question, where'd you get your corn? That was that diamond corn, man. Where'd you pick it up at?
Smith's Farm, and thanks to Smith's Farm, for their cooperation and participation too, yeah.
It was good. I don't know if I said pat the cook on the shoulder or go down pat just Smith on the shoulder. It was good corn though.
Yeah, it was.
Trustee Tate.
I'll just make some side comments for the grill master for the corn. The corner dog roast, I think was real enjoyable this year. It did not rain as it did last year. So I think there were more children out there. Special thanks to all of the Sauk Village first responders who were there. Congratulations and thanks to Alan Maverick, who was recently appointed as the director a couple of months ago, I think. And he jumped right in, helping out the corner dog roast. He even brought his counterpart from the community of Malcolm, and they both ended up grilling hot dogs. But I think it was a great community effort. It was great to see the first responders step up to the plate and help out. I want to thank Barbara Campbell Pruitt, who's the chairman for the Intergovernmental Partnership Team, who joined Trustee Jones and his Parks and Recs team in putting this together. And special thanks to all the members of the Parks and Recs Committee who participated in getting this going. Special thanks also go out to Nan Wargo. As you know, she's the librarian, and she had her assistant, Devontae Turner, who was there, and they put on the movies for the younger children who want to watch. Zootopia and Panda something. I like Panda, but I didn't like the Zootopia. But anyway, they had the two movies there. Ms. Wargo did an excellent job in keeping the popcorn popping and keeping it hot so the children were able to get it. Matter of fact, some of the basketball players, they even came over and got some popcorn. So I think special thanks go to her and her assistant for putting on the popcorn display for us. It really worked out well. There were a lot of volunteers that were not part of Parks and Recs committee. I think they deserve to be congratulated for pitching in and making this a good event. They gave their time, and some of them their money, to put on their displays of community involvement. And I think it was really nice to see that. Volunteers are sometimes hard to come by. And so when I see people who are not part of the committee, but they say, what can I do? Can I help? And they pitch right in, that was great. We had 4 teenagers that pitched in and volunteered. Of course, 2 of them I know a little better. One was Zach Ayers and Xavier Jones. I almost messed up his name. His son, Trustee Jones' son. They're both members of Junior ROTC at Bloom Trail. They rehearsed, they had training all day long. At the end of that training, those 2 gentlemen came over and pitched in and helped us out, and that was great. They still had the strength and the endurance to help out in the court of dog roast after being training all day. So to those 2 individuals, special thanks to them. And then we had Andy and Tyler Ayers, Adams, who, they're big guys. They helped out a lot moving tables and stuff over there. But these are teenagers. Nobody beat them or threatened them to volunteer. They just came over and said, what can I do? What can I help? And that really helped a lot to see young people volunteering to help out in their community. And they probably learned a few things from the older guys that they were around. I hope the good things from the older guys that they were around to put this on. The other thing that was a little, I guess, distressing to me, I was approached by 2 gentlemen who I think were parents probably, who were upset that their sons' bags were searched and they were playing 3-on-3 basketball. And I referred them to the mayor and the chief of police, and you, Mr. Mayor, also as the daily person, to voice their complaints, because there was absolutely nothing that I can do about someone going through their children's book bags. And they said they were looking for a cell phone. I don't know. I was not there. I have no idea. I don't know what they said. But they said the son's bags were searched by someone, and they said they were in the village. So I wasn't the one. I don't know who in the village searched bags, but that happened, and they were upset. And I think we should be careful about doing some of the things that we do because it hurts our reputation as a community. Some of these guys that I know did not live in Sauk, but they were here playing basketball. And we should not treat them as criminals or suspects or any of that kind of stuff. So whoever did it in the village may want to consider not doing it next time if your phone gets lost, stolen, whatever. We have law enforcement personnel who could do that. And we should not take it upon ourselves to violate anyone's rights by searching their personal property. And that was the only negative thing that I got out of this whole thing. But otherwise, it was a great day. Weather was good. The children ate everything they could find. And I saw the boys with fudge brownies. They were the largest fudge brownies I've ever seen. But they had them all over their face and clothes, so they must have been good. So the children enjoyed it, and that's what we're about. Corn and dog roast is supposed to be for families, to be with their children, and the children to enjoy it, everybody to be happy. And I think we should keep that thing and move forward in helping everyone else to enjoy whatever they could for the corn and dog roast. So to Trustee Jones and this committee, congratulations. I think you guys did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to say a couple of things. First of all, everyone remember on the November 11th at 11 o'clock here at Village Hall, we will have our Veterans Program. So if you know anyone that's a veteran please inform them that all the veterans are welcome. You don't have to be a resident of the village, but, you know, we would love for them to come out. This year, we're going to have a few surprises in our program, so we would like for all of the veterans to please come out and partake and have fun. I just want to say, tomorrow, we will still have our town hall meeting here at 7 p.m. All are welcome. And just one quick note on the corner dog roast, something that I saw myself. I was able to stand there and watch things going on. I just have to say that the village did come together on that day. That it seemed like everyone left their, whatever you want to call it, differences or whatever at home. They came out, they enjoyed, they mingled, they intertwined with each other. And I saw that, and that was very good. I know we can do it. It's just that we have to take certain things out of it because we're all here together to enjoy this village. And I saw that, and I was kind of happy to see that we were able to do that, because there's not a lot of time, especially at the meetings, we're not able to do it. And I know we could do it, and I know we can continue to keep doing it. Also on the corner dog roast, no one said anything about the baked goods. They left. They were gone. They sold those out. Oh, you did? Okay. They sold those out. I didn't get one. But they were gone. I saw there they were neatly packed, wrapped, and everything. I said, okay, as soon as I get through cooking, I'll get some. That didn't happen. So, but I just want to say kudos to Trustee Tate and Trustee Jones especially, because he had a lot of things going on, and also kudos to the mayor. You had the program going on. I was hoping that some of those guys, after they got through, would come over, but I guess they were too tired to come by to buy not just the corn, but the other things that were going on there. But they probably seemed like when they got through, they left out. So, but then again, those are teenagers. They probably didn't have enough money, but it was only $1. But we still had fun. Just goes to show you that if you plan it right, if you do it right, you get the right amount of volunteers, you can make anything happen. That's all I have. Thank you. I was just reminded, the person that was responsible for those delicious cakes and other partaking of sugary products is here, and that's Ms. Harris. Could you please raise your hand or stand up, Ms. Harris? She sold out. It was really good.
Thank you. Just as a reminder, the casino fundraiser for the 60th anniversary will be November 11th after the Veterans Day presentation here. There's flyers on the back table for anybody who's interested. And also the fundraiser for the 60th anniversary, we are selling an entertainment book apps, and anybody who is interested can see myself or the Village Clerk.
How's that? Can everyone hear me back there?
No.
All right. You can't say can you hear me anymore because he's moved to sprint, right? So yeah. Is that one of the kids back there? All right, I tell you what, everyone's talked about Saturday. We had a great day Saturday. We had a great event over at the Corner Dog Roast. I thank Parks and Rec and Trustee Jones for all the work that you did on that one. It was a great event. We had the mayor's first 3-on-3 and free throw competition. And, it just goes to prove Saturday where the youth of our community can come together, have fun. There was no fighting. There was no arguing. They were just out there having a good time. So, we had, and I'm sure, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know we had over 40 youth. We had a total of 8 teams. It was 3-on-3 where every team could have up to 4 people on their team because they had an alternate. We also had others that came out just for the free throw competition. Of those 8 teams, we had awards, and we had first place, second place, and third place awards. First place went to, and I got to pull it up so I won't forget here, the HTP, And that, their team came from Holy Tabernacle Praise, and that was Lawrence Taylor's team, so they made it all the way through the end. Second place team, and everyone named their own teams, was Team Ballers. And then the third place team was Team Money. So kids had a good time naming their teams and having a good time out there. We had a free throw competition, and I'll tell you what, it was for all ages, free throw, anyone, all ages. And I think the individual that won it, I think he was over 60 years old. It was unbelievable. He was sitting on the sideline, not saying a word. And as we all know, our youth, especially teenagers, were all talking about how they were going to walk away with the free throw championship award. They were all walking up there holding it, and they were all bragging about how no one could beat them. He sat there, he was very quiet. You had to make it to the second round to even win the championship. All these kids went through, and I think there was probably only maybe a couple handfuls that made it to the second round. And he was one of them. During the second round, they had to shoot 12 shots. And to be able to continue, you had to either tie with someone, and there could only be one champion for free throw. Well, he didn't have to worry about anyone tying with him. He made 11 out of 12 free throws. He walked up there, shot old school. He just went up there and shot, hit the front of the rim, and bounced right in. And you should have seen all these kids just watching him. So he walked away with his free throw championship award proudly. And he told me that he was going to take the next day off work, which was Sunday, because he wanted to go to church and show everyone his award. So, I like to also thank everyone that came out and helped. I know the kids, my kids were out there helping a lot. The girls were out there registering people, and of course the boys, they participated in the 3-on-3 competition and tournament, and they didn't make it very far, because as you can see, they weren't in place 1, 2, or 3. So. But I told them the only reason they didn't make it to first place is because their father wasn't out there playing with them. So, but I was trash talking Trustee Burgess at the very beginning. I wanted to see if he put his team together, and we were kind of like going back and forth. But needless to say, at the end of the day, I think he was as tired as I felt. So he was cooking corn, and I was out there reffing basketball games. So we let the kids have a fun time, and that's what it's all about. So again, I appreciate all the volunteers that came out and helped. I'd like to thank the Parks and Recs and Trustee Burgess, especially because he was called the grill master, right? For the hot dogs and the corn. The kids enjoyed that. So again, it's all working together, and that's what's important. So we've got that. I'd like to mention. I made myself a bunch of notes. Oh, I know. I met with Marva on Monday night to go over the community service position, so that I could get a better understanding of what was needed. After meeting with her, I'm hoping to be able to present someone next Tuesday night to the board for approval. I probably will meet with Marva one more time about the position, so I get a better understanding. The individual I had in mind, after they read the requirements, they said that they were not able to be able to do that position. So just because of time, the amount of time it looks like it's going to take. So I just want to make sure I let the board know that I did meet with Marva. So with that said, I've got one more thing. In fact, I've got a prepared statement. I just want to make sure that I read it. I've got a news release going out. So stick with me. I don't want to be too lengthy, all right? Today officially started election season for the April 2017 consolidated election. As I look back, it's hard to believe that there's only 7 months before the next mayoral election and the end of the first 4 years. Tonight, I'm informing the residents of Sauk Village that I am not seeking re-election as your mayor and will be retiring from politics at the end of my term in 2017. Let me assure you that no one's pushing me out of office, nor am I running from anyone. This was a difficult decision because politics is in my blood. I've always been a fighter, and I would really enjoy facing some of these mayoral candidates in the next election. But I've served the residents of Sauk Village well. And as the Apostle Paul stated in 2 Timothy, I hope I'll be able to say at the end of my term, kind of emotional, so. I had fought a good fight. I finished my course, and I got the faith. I'm reminded to a little less than 4 years ago, my group of residents asked me to run for mayor. At that time, I asked them why and explained that I was thinking about retiring from politics then. At that time, I was acting mayor, filling the vacancy for former Mayor Louis Towers, who abruptly resigned. At the end of that term, I would have served as trustee for approximately 13 and a half years, and acting mayor for 6 months, which would have been then a total of 14 years. However, at the end, that small group convinced me that it was for the best interest of the residents in Sauk Village to run, as it was bigger than me and my retirement from politics. So as you all know, I did. I ran. I reminded a group that I met with what I said just under 4 years ago. At that time, I told a small group prior to saying yes, and if I ran and was elected, I also told them that I would run one term at that time. Told them that I would make the hard and tough decisions, which some they may agree with and some they may disagree. If you look back at this administration, we've made the tough decisions that no other past or future administration could and would be able to make. Think about some of the stuff in the last 4 years. Tough decision was the Joint Dispatch Center. Tonight we had Joint Dispatch Center talking to us, or the community of Calvin Park. Tough decision. I knew most of those people that were on there. I was a police cadet with some of those. Retaining and recruiting businesses in Sauk Village. Look at WinPack, 350,000 square foot addition put on. Advance Auto. We brought Advance Autos to Sauk Village. We've got Title Next came when I was acting mayor. Daycare centers are opening back up again. Bellows opened up since under this administration. U.S. Post Office came back to Sauk Village. We've got new dry cleaners. Think about the tax incentives for local businesses, what we did to help retain and keep businesses. Dunkin' Donuts, WinPack, Bear Paint, Jacobs, Advance Auto. I know there's some few others that I just can't remember off the top of my head. Infrastructure repairs. We've got the new water treatment. Think about this when I became mayor, the issues we had with water treatment plants and loans and stuff that we had to get. And the state was so much involved. We were able to work with the state. The state was getting ready to come in and take over the village when I became acting mayor. We were able to get all that taken care of. We've got all of our treatment plants up and running, brand new. Think about the roads that have been done in the last 4 years. You know, in the last budget we talked about in the last couple of meetings, we only projected $400,000 for this year. I was attacked and said there's no way you can project $400,000. Think about a $200,000 CDBG grant we just announced last week for multiple roads. $600,000 for Coronado and 223rd Street from the state, which was announced last week. Tonight we're talking about another $300,000 that we're going to be using from grants to redo WinPack Way. We exceeded what we estimated we'd bring in this year for roads. So a long ways from $400,000, we're over $1.something million for roads just this year. And so we're going to continue to work on infrastructure repairs. We talked about roads, fire hydrants. Fire hydrants remains a top priority. I was talking to the unions tonight. Fire hydrants came up. We're still working on getting those repaired. Water main breaks. Our water main breaks are down. Why is that? Because of the amount of work that Public Works has done to make sure that we have a reduction in water main breaks. Businesses up to code. You know, residents, it's easy to come complain. But you know, I haven't heard anyone come in and praise all the work that was done over at Fairway in the parking lot. We heard a lot of people complain because they said they went through and they were hitting the bumps. You know, every time something's come, it's amazing. People talk about businesses. So when the residents come, your comments don't go on deaf ears. You can see the fruition of the work and stuff that's being done when it comes to bringing businesses up to code. Enforcing our water bills. When I became your acting mayor and your mayor, many residents were not paying their bills. They were told on the previous administration not to pay them. We've got residents paying their bills. JW just presented to the board the increase in the amount of money we're bringing in because the water bills are being paid now. We are going out and digging up e-boxes. We are jetting. We are turning water off, and residents are coming back in and making their bills whole. How does that affect Sauk Village? It affects you because you know what? You're no longer paying for someone else. People are being responsible for what they owe. Ticket enforcement. We've started putting liens on property. Our debt recovery is off to a good start. We're going to continue. And something we started, we've got Chief Kowalski in here, is the reduction of crime. When I became your mayor, and when I ran for mayor, I said crime was the #1 issue. I get reminded constantly, I said they've got 4 ways to go, north or south down 220, north or south down 394, or east or west down Sauk Trail to leave Sauk Village. We're going to continue forcing the criminals out of our community. Why and how are we able to do that? Number one, we hired a qualified police chief. And Chief Kowalski is the best chief that Sauk Village has ever had. And I'll tell you what, he is one who is going after the community. He's not one that sits in his office and does nothing, and he doesn't co-sign checks that should never have been written. Chief Kowalski is the one. Hiring additional officers, we put additional officers in place. We provided officers with the resources that were needed. We've worked with local, county, and state agencies, and as you know, Chief Kowalski's talked about how we brought in South Suburban Gang Task Force and South Suburban forces to go off and go after these criminals. And they've had good results. That's because of the leadership of Chief Kowalski. So, I've always felt Sauk Village is the greatest place to live and raise a family. Even prior residents that have left Sauk Village thinking the grass was greener on the other side know that I'm right. Think about it. That explains why those bitter prior residents go on social media and try to make Sauk Village look so bad. If their new place in life was so much better, why worry and complain about a community you left? One would think they'd be out there telling everyone about a better choice. Or you have to ask yourself a question. It wasn't. We still have 8 months left, and we will do everything possible to make sure whoever is the next mayor of Sauk Village is better shape than it was the way I received it. I live here, I will continue living here, and I will do my best to make sure that Sauk Village, as I just said on stage, is better. Again, I said earlier, people may not agree with everything I do, but I have a goal to make Sauk Village a better place to live, a better place to raise your family. This administration will continue to fight crime. We'll work on making Sauk Village a better place to live, making the needed repairs in our infrastructure, and recruiting and retaining businesses. I'm not going anywhere for the next 8 months. I'm staying here. I'm staying in office to the end of my term. And I'm not going anywhere afterwards. My wife and I, we have a house. We raise our family here. We're staying here. In closing, while we do have 8 months, I would like to take a moment to thank my wife Linda and children for sticking by my side. All these years. Attending village events. I practiced that how many times before I read this? I didn't cry many times. Attending village events, doing without me at family events because something was happening in the village. And waiting up for me all those late nights after meetings. Thank you to the residents that didn't agree with me on every decision, but still remembered that it's okay to disagree, but not be disagreeable. Thank you. God bless Sauk Village. Okay.